CCTV for your van. It hasn't got to be complicated. We've been using the Blink Mini cameras for over a year on our van conversion and find them really good. We've been using the wireless versions of that on our house for about 18 months. But at the time we didn't install these wireless versions because in our opinion there were a few barriers that didn't make them perfect for putting on outside of the van. And we found some products today that we're going to test and install off our own backs to see if they can solve that. And stick around as well to the end of the video because there's a few ways where you can save money on these cameras. First thing we need to do though is to set them up, and actually Blink have made that quite a doddle. Alright, so here's the things that I've bought. I've bought the Blink Mini 2 outdoor camera, where you get two cameras in here, two mounts which we're not going to use, and I'll explain why, and the Blink Sync Mini 2 module. These are the other things that I'm going to demonstrate later. So these are posh mount pods. Some other things here to tidy up your cable in and maybe avoid the subscription if you want that. I'm actually going to do away with this camera here because before, if you've not watched the channel before, we did have windows in here, which we no longer obviously have. So the camera can't see out through a solid door. So I'm going to remove this one, add the module up here, and this is one of the reasons why we want to have the outdoor camera. Alright, so in the absence of a 3D printed mount for this, I'm going to use this one that I've bought. I'm just going to stick it on this back wall using some sticky tabs. I was initially going to stick it on just the back of the sync module, but when you're setting up and adding it to the app, you need to scan a QR code on the back. Open the app, search for the Blink module and add it to your existing setup if it exists. If not, you're going to be adding one. Let it join the Wi-Fi, which obviously I don't want to show you for obvious reasons, and your sync module is ready to go. Alright, so this is the anatomy of the outdoor camera. You've got your sensors on the front, the lens on the back, input for USB if you wanted to have it charging, and a screw thingy. Now in the box you get one of these DDs, a little tool to undo that, and then the back will pop off. Tool gets the back off. They even include lithium-ion batteries, which you do need to use. And what you're going to do is search for that in the Blink app, add it, and then we should be able to test that it works. You're going to go ahead and do the same for the other one. Got them both added then, and at that point, that will be where you might be adding, or thinking about adding, your mounts. But we're going to skip that step because I've got a couple of problems with them. The mounts that they come with, we've had them on the house, like I said, for a long time. They've put up with a lot of wind and a lot of effort, lots of forces and all of that stuff. But when you mount them on here, and this might just be me, I don't think they're really made to be on the outside of a vehicle. So I think any like big whack with a tree branch, or even a little bit of fatigue over time, and you're going to see that they're not held in there super well. Might be fine, but I want a bit more peace of mind. The other thing is, when you do set it up, it does note in there that you need to avoid quite a lot of things like sunlight, vehicles, lots of things moving. And the angle that you can mount these, I don't think is optimal. So I found something else that I'm going to test. I bought these off my own back. I found some dude that actually 3D prints these mounts for the outdoor 2 cameras. So you can see that it is 3D printed. You've got all of the telltale signs here of the lines and all of that where it's been built up. And effectively what you've got here is 4 screws that I'm going to remove. You add the module in here, do it back up, and then you need to mount it. So on the back you've got 2 mounting screws. He actually does do a magnetised version as well, but I've gone for the 2 mounting screw version. So you can choose where you want to add it. So what I've done is I've taped up the back, so I've got a template for drilling out some holes. I've chosen somewhere on my roof rack where I want to mount this over the back door. Drilled out 2 holes. Added 2 riv nuts. Oh man, too much stuff up on the roof. Gross. Oh, that's solid. Let's see what the angle of the dangle's like. Then what I'm hoping that this has done is basically allowed it to look down upon my back doors. Glorious back doors. Some people pay a lot of money for that on the internet, but not for these. Well, I don't like how bold I am, but angle-wise that looks pretty good. I'm just going to shut the doors and have a look. And the mount is solid, like absolutely rock solid, which is what we want. Don't want any sort of flexing or moving. It looks pretty neat up there too. Let's see what it looks like on the camera, and we'll install the front one. Okay, so around the front of the van now, using exactly the same principle. So I have taped up the back and marked it with Sharpie. I'm going to peel that off and put it where I want it to go. Drill through with a pilot, 5mm hole for the M3 riv nut. Actually, I think it looks kind of at home on this roof rack upright. I've angled it so hopefully the worst of the weather and rain will flow over it, but they are made to go outdoors, and I guess we shall see how they stand the test of time. Now it's installed, I'm just going to show you something else that comes with that kit earlier. They can give you an external backup and save you some cash. So this little USB dongle just goes in the side of the Blink module here, and this will keep a local copy of anything that's triggered and doesn't require a subscription. I personally quite like the subscription because it gives you unlimited cloud storage and live notifications. So if you're away from the van, it'll ping you and tell you that you've got a notification. I think it costs about £8 a month. The good thing about that is that covers every camera that you add to your subscription. So all of the ones on the house and all of the ones here are covered. Obviously prices can rise on that, but we find it good value. Aside from that, when you're buying the cameras, there's 2 things here to look out for, right? They wildly vary in price depending on when you buy them. First tip, if you're buying them brand new, buy them during like a Prime Day, Black Friday. There's one coming up in a couple of days time, because prices are often like half the price they usually are. It's like crazy. So put them in your basket. I'll leave the links down below. Keep an eye out for them. Second tip, if you don't mind getting from their warehouse, I picked these up for £44. Again, I'll link to the ones that I actually bought in the description down below. £45 I paid. I think when I checked for the video they were on 55. Brand new, they're 155 without any discount. So that's just some tips that I have picked up installing these cameras. Really happy with how that's gone. You can watch more of my videos here. And until our next one, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye!